as well, right, Mr. Taylor?
Always got questions.
All right. And housekeeping, our guests who are joining us, please be sure to put any questions you may have in the Q&A chat, and we'll make sure to get to them as we go through and share all this amazing information with you. So I guess I'll start off with my very first question for you, Brittany, is how does someone become a member of Navy Federal? Let's get real basic. I'll start you off with the basic questions before we get into it.
The meat and potatoes, yes. So with Navy Federal, you have a couple ways that you can become a member. Of course, the first is going to be if you are military, so you're eligible for membership with your military benefits. If your family member, let's say mom, dad, brother, sister, are members of the military or have a Navy Federal membership, we can get you linked in that way. As well as they have opened it up to if you have a roommate that has Navy Federal or someone that lives with you that does have Navy Federal, we can link you into membership based on their living situation with you. So those are going to be the most common situations, but they do have a number. Let's say if you have a grandparent that has been, let's say, passed away, they do have a department that you can call for that as well to see if you're eligible for membership.
Wow, I can't believe they opened it up if you have a roommate. I remember when I joined, it was super strict. Okay, so
Yeah.
Navy Federal is really opening their arms to the public right now. Is that what's going on? Okay, awesome.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you want to take over?
Sure. So, with that being said, Navy Federal is mostly military. Are there any advantages for VA loans and things like that?
Absolutely. So Navy Federal does offer the VA loan. So we don't require a down payment, as well as there's no private mortgage insurance. And Navy Federal doesn't charge any, we call them admin or junk fees for the VA loans. So you won't see us charging admin fees.
Okay.
As well as we are known for the lowest rates, or some of the lowest rates, I will say, for the VA loans.
Okay. And
yeah, for sure. I know I had a VA client that did that as well.
So based on that, what is your minimum credit score for some of these? And if you could share also some of the loan products that Navy Federal has to offer.
Absolutely. So right now we are operating on a 660 credit score, and that's going to be for all of our programs. Navy Federal has, of course, the VA loan, and then we have 100% financing for our members that aren't in the military. What that is we cover the down payment, and they would be responsible for the closing cost. It is a conventional loan, and they have options of doing 3% and 5% down as well.
Okay. Awesome.
And did I miss the part with the credit scores? Did you mention the credit scores?
660.
660, yes. That's for all programs?
Yes, all programs.
Okay, awesome.
And did that just become 660 because of Corona, or has it always been that way?
It did change because of Corona, so they did raise it up to the 660 credit score.
Okay, awesome. And at the 100% financing, what's the highest sales price? Or is there a actual highest sales price on that for purchase?
Yes, so we can go up to $1 million for the 100% financing.
Oh, $1 million. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And I can say, too, with our 100%, I know some people get us confused with the grant programs. We don't have a limit on where you can purchase. When you do select the 100%, you are eligible for most properties. So it isn't area specific.
And you mentioned grant programs. Does Navy have any affiliation with grant programs or anything like that that you can share with us?
Unfortunately, right now, we don't have any grant programs. It's just going to be our 100% financing.
Okay, got it. Because I know a lot of people like to ask if Navy Federal does any type of grant program. But I guess your grant program would be 100% financing that you offer right now. Okay.
100%. Yes.
And the big question today is PMI. So can you talk a little bit about, for people who may not know what PMI is, and if you guys do charge PMI?
Absolutely. So private mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, is a mortgage insurance that protects the lender in case you default on the loan. Navy Federal doesn't require PMI on the conventional loans, which is wonderful. But PMI, typically you will see them on FHA loans. When we compare the rates to conventional, they run about the same once you add the PMI into the FHA program. So your payments will be the same, but you might see a lower interest rate with FHA.
Okay, awesome. All right, so it's just either or, which way you want to go type of deal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And in regards to that, let's talk about your loan closing and your turnaround times. Has that been affected by COVID? Has there been any changes? If you could just dive a little bit deeper into it.
Absolutely. So yes, the turnaround time has changed. Typically, our turnaround time right now is going to be about 35 days to 45 days for closings. 45 is going to be more on if you have a contingent property that you need to sell. We are extending those closings out a little longer. But if it's a flat purchase, roughly 35 days.
Okay, awesome. And we have a couple questions that are coming in that are like, are you ready? This is from the people who are joining.
Okay.
So one of the questions that come in is, do you finance condominiums that are delinquent? And if yes, what's the down payment amount?
Okay. So the condos are case by case. If they're 100% financing, what we require is a condo questionnaire, and we send it over to our condo team, and they approve them case by case. We do condos with delinquencies, but typically if they're approved, there is no down payment, so no 10% down. We can still do them 100%.
Okay, cool. And what you said, I'm sorry, babe?
No, I said that's definitely helpful.
Definitely helpful. And we have another question that came that says, with 100% conventional financing, what is the comparison interest?
What do they mean? Like, what's the minimum, I guess, the introductory rate, or?
Answer it either way.
Okay. So the rates do vary. They did change the rates today, and I apologize. I didn't get a chance to look at them before the call. But the rates before they changed them, before the call, was roughly 4.125% for anyone that had like a 720 credit score or higher. With conventional, it is going to be based on your credit score, so there may be some bumps added to the rate depending on where your credit score falls.
All right. And we have a follow-up question where they want to know, what is the difference, I guess, doing 100% financing versus financing with some type of down payment?
Okay, so if you do 100% financing, we do have a 1.75% funding fee that gets funded into the loan. If you do a down payment of 3%, the funding fee is waived, as well as the rate is a little lower. And then, of course, if you do 5%, the rate's going to be a lot lower, just because you're doing the down payment.
All right. And we have another question. Ms. Brittany, you're the star of this show today.
Absolutely.
I love talking to lenders, and our guests, please don't hesitate to put your Q&As in the chat, in the Q&A box. We really appreciate it. They wanted to know, what was the minimum score requirement prior to the COVID-19 crisis?
So we were going down to 610 credit scores, but right now they're at 660. So they did kind of increase them a little.
All right. And one thing I want to talk about, Brittany, and if you could just give us as much detail as possible, is what I've noticed in working with you versus the call center loan officers, and that there is a difference. So do you want to share a little bit about working with you versus calling into the call center? Like, what's the difference in the services, because that's valuable information that people should know. And a lot of people are not aware that there is a huge difference in working with a call center versus a loan officer such as yourself.
Absolutely. So of course we're all Navy Federal. The main difference is going to be I have a direct phone number. So most of the agents as well as clients, they do like to work with someone that's a little more hands-on. I can be contacted through text, as well as you can call me, and my availability is a little bit more open than the call center. As well as, so the field team, we do have where you can apply and assign the loans to us. And I will send that link so that you can send it to everyone in case they want to use it.
Okay.
That's going to be the main difference. But,
no, go ahead. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. But the good thing is we all are Navy, so we both have the same products. So you can use me for all of Navy Federal's programs, as well as if you do call into the call center, you can use all of their programs as well. But the main difference is I have a direct number.
What about availability? Because I do believe with the call center, they're typically just Monday to Friday hours, right?
Yes. So with me, I am available a lot more. My schedule's open. I do work 10 to 6. I will put those in quotations because I always respond to my text messages and emails outside of that time. So I am going to have more availability than the call center.
Okay, because and just for everyone to know, call centers are typically only available Monday to Friday. I think the hours are 9 to 5. Is that correct? Is it 9 to 5 or 9 to 6?
I think,
or something like that.
I think they've opened it. Yes, I was like, I think they've opened it. So yes, it's something like that.
So I wanted to make everyone aware that the reason we like working with Brittany is because as agents, we also, from an agent perspective, I'll say we have clients that want to look at houses on the weekend, or even someone who's on this call, you may be a potential buyer and you'll want to work with Navy Federal. However, the difference is if you're working with one of the call center loan officers, they're only available Monday to Friday. So you'll only be able to get a pre-approval letter or a quote for your loan on Monday morning. Whereas in working with someone like Brittany, you could probably text her that same day or later that day, and she can respond and talk to you and, provide guidance on your loan estimates and any other information you may need. So that's a huge benefit, and that's why we like working with her, because information is readily available and we don't have to wait till Monday, especially on the weekend, to get that information. Would you agree, Donna? What's your perspective?
Yeah, especially the way that properties having multiple offers and stuff like that. And I work with a lot of the buyers on the buyer side. So Brittany, if you can just elaborate on how that process works, like from the time that I introduce you to a buyer, like what does that process look like for the buyer coming from you?
So typically I will call the buyer within 24 hours. I usually try to do my calls in the morning. So if you send someone over and you're like, hey, I want them to get pre-approved or talk to you, I will give them a call typically 2 hours in like around when you guys send the emails, but 24 hours just to be on the safe side. From that point, my pre-approvals do take about a day. If I can get them system approved, I'll issue the pre-approval the same day. If it does need to go to underwriting, sometimes it does take a little longer for underwriting to review the loans.
Okay, awesome. Lucia, you want to answer the question?
Sure. So we have a question that came in, and she's asking, how do I become a member of Navy Federal if I'm not ready yet to purchase, but I like what Navy has to offer? I'm currently a member of NASA Federal Credit Union. So how will that process work in that situation?
So I would love to speak with them because there's so many different ways. If they know someone that does have Navy Federal in their family, we could see if we can loop them in that way. Or if there is military, let's say in their grandparents or maybe their sister-in-law, we can always see about getting them linked into membership. It's not as hard as it used to be to get into membership.
Yeah, because I felt like you had to have some type of gold card or something to get. I'm grateful for my membership now. I think, Donnell, I brought you in. You came on with my sweat with Navy Federal.
And I think I brought my mom in after that too.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you guys for being members.
yes, we're actually members of Navy Federal. So yes.
That brings up a question that I had too, that I'm sure some other people might have. Is there a way to still get finance? Like, just say for instance, I bring somebody in today. How long does they have to be a member before they can qualify to apply for a loan?
So the good thing with Navy is once you become a member, you're eligible for all programs. So as long as you have your access number, you can apply for any of our loan products. Same day.
Nice.
I like that.
So there's no waiting period, which is great. We have another question that just came in. And guys, these questions are great. Please keep them coming. Let's keep Brittany on her toes to make sure we know about Navy Federal. Someone wants to know, do you process refi loans? And if yes, what is your typical turnaround time? Just tell us a little bit more about that process.
On the refinances?
Do you process refinances?
So yes, I do process refinances. The turnaround time right now is, let's see, roughly like 120 days turnaround. Yes, if they do go through the call center, it does take a little longer for the refinances. If we can get everything in, we do move the closings up, but we do extend those closings out for the refinances. And the good thing with those two is that you can still lock your rates during that process. So you're not exempt from the lower credit scores because the process does take a little longer.
Are they the rates competitive for refinancing as well?
Yes, they are.
So
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to have a follow-up question. Why is the refi process 120 days going through the call center as opposed to going through just directly with the loan officer?
Well, both. It's both. So even if they go through me, they'll push them out about 120 days. It's just a matter of if we can get everything in, we'll close them faster. But that's just the process right now for the refinance team with reviewing the loans.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, we got that question answered. And I have actually a follow-up question where you mentioned earlier that someone, even if they come through the call center, the loan can be reassigned to you. Because in the past, my understanding was once it came through the call center, a loan officer can't be assigned to it. So can you just dig deep and tell us a little bit about that process where if it comes through the call center, they're like, you know what, I meant to call Brittany, but I didn't have her number. So how does that work?
So if someone does apply and they, let's say, don't put my name in the box, they can send me an email and request that I pull their application. The faster, the better. And that way I can send it to management to see if it can be transferred. It is a management decision, so it's going to be case by case. But if you guys want to work with me, send the email and I will definitely see if management can transfer to work with me.
All right. Has there been any issues, like some extenuating circumstances that you can share where someone won't be able to have the loan assigned to you, such as a process has started, or if you could just talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah. So if it has a loan officer and you continue to work with them they don't really have a guideline for the days. And I apologize, I can't really give you days. But if they've already started with the loan officer, it is harder to get it transferred. But if you just applied for the loan and you want to switch over to me, it would be transferred case by the manager.
Okay. Have you seen any situation? Have you seen any situation where it's or you just stick into case by case? You stick into that story.
Yeah, it is case by case. I wish I knew what they look for, but yes, it is case by case. I say but the faster they do it, the better. I know this. If you apply and it's been a couple of days, and you're like, "Oh, Brittany, I'm sorry. I thought that you got the application." It is a smoother process than if you've already started working with a different loan officer.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right.
So I know one of the most popular loans that you guys have is the 100% loan. What else is there outside of the 100%?
So right now we do have ARM programs, so 3-5 ARM and then 5-5 ARM. And then we have, of course, the conventional where they can do the down payments. Our big seller is just the 100% financing.
Right. So the I know that word like scares a lot of people. So if you can just explain what that means for people if they're thinking about doing a
Yeah, absolutely. So ARM programs are going to be adjustable rates, which mean that let's say we do a 5-5 ARM. In 5 years, the rates could change, and that could go up or it could go down. Typically, they will give you 6 months with the new interest rate after the 5 years to give you time to see if you want to refinance the loan into a fixed rate or if you want to go with the new rate. I have some people that do the ARMs and then after 5 years, the rates are lower, and they love that. And then I have some people that are like, no, I want a consistent rate for the whole 30 years.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. Because I know the 100% is the big ticket item for Navy Federal. That's what a lot of people go for. But I know you do have other items that are available.
Yes.
Awesome. We have some more questions that are coming in, lady. We have a question that says, what if you lock in your rate for a refinance and the rate drops? How does Navy handle it?
So right now we are doing 2 rate lock drops. So if the rates do drop while you're under your refinance, we can relock you at the lower rate. So we can do that 2 times within your loan process.
Any fees?
No fees.
Okay. Let us know these things because people are like,
you're like, too good to be true. Is it free? Yes, there's no charge.
Okay. And is it still with that? Will that be dependent on your credit score? So are there any restrictions on that or?
Nope. So as long as you're going through the refinance process and you qualify, we do allow the 2 rate drops.
All right. And we have some comments on Facebook I have to share with you.
Okay.
One is Navy Federal is the best. Car,
Yay!
around my house. So easy. That's one of our comments. We do have another comment. They're not so happy with Navy Federal.
No.
And this is not working. She just said she was a member for years, and when she purchased her home, they denied her first, and then she went somewhere else. She was upset. So
I'm sorry.
Conversation with that person as to why Navy denied her, but she got approved with another lender.
Yeah. And we all have different guidelines. So I can tell you Navy Federal's conventional program is like Navy Federal's program, whereas the FHA programs are Fannie Mae kind of regulated. So with Navy Federal, the guidelines for 100% kind of vary case by case, especially, I don't know how long ago she applied, but they do change. So they regulate the 100%.
Okay, perfect.
Is the interest rate on 100% higher than your other products?
No, it's high, of course, higher than the VA loan. But with the 100% conventional loan, it's competitive with the other conventional loans that are out there.
Okay, awesome.
And we have a question coming in on Facebook. And the person wants to know, do I have to be a veteran or an active service member to take advantage of Navy Federal services? I already know the answer, but I'll let
So the answer is no, you don't have to be a veteran. You do have to be one to do our VA loans, but you don't need military to be eligible for membership.
Awesome. All right. And we have another question, and someone's asking, the 100% financing program, is it only for first-time home buyers?
No. So if you're not a first-time home buyer, you still can apply for the 100% financing.
All right. And we have some comments coming in. We have a young lady that said she's looking to refi her house. So she wants to know if she can reach out to you directly to get the refi done on her house.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. And we have another question that's asking, what is the average time? I think we answered it earlier. They probably came in late, but they wanted to know, what is the average time to close on a Navy Federal standard mortgage loan product?
So roughly 35 to 45 days.
Yeah, for a standard loan product. Okay. And Brittany, is there anything else you want to share with us about Navy Federal that most people might not know? Because I'm sure there's a lot of things that we don't know about Navy Federal. Come on, get the secret out. We don't know.
I'm trying to think, like, is there some, so of course the myth of, you have to be military to be a member. You don't. You just have to have one of the other options. And I do have like a membership form that I can send to you. And if you want to send everybody that so they kind of can see the different ways, or if they want to reach out, that's fine too. But I'm trying to think, is there anything that you guys don't know about Navy?
Do you guys attend the closings?
So I do.
Question, babe. Do you guys attend?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
So I do attend the closings when we're not on quarantine, but the in-house call center loan officers, they do not attend the closings.
And you just brought up something really interesting. As we're in quarantine, how are you connecting with your clients? Are you using Zoom? Like, what type of platforms are you using, to communicate? When people submit their application, is it a secure platform? So tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So when you apply online, you're going to apply through your Navy Federal banking account. So it is secured. That's how, and then you'll be able to assign the loan to me. So everything is through a secured site. You said with COVID, what was the other, I'm sorry, what was the other question?
Communicate with clients because with the COVID situation.
So I typically call them.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I do a lot of phone calls and texts. I do like Zoom. I'm learning to like Zoom. So I could Zoom with them if they wanted, but most of my clients, I just give them a call and we go over any questions that they may have.
Okay, so none of them are like, I want to meet you face to face. So if you do have clients in the past who want to meet you face to face, they can, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind meeting clients face to face to go over anything, or if they just need me to kind of explain the paperwork to them, I don't mind meeting them face to face.
Because I know I've had some buyer clients who are like, no, I'm not sending anything through emails. I want to go sit down in the office and have a conversation and meet the person I'm giving all my personal financial business to. So that's why I asked, because I want to see clients like how you're handling if you're just doing a Zoom call, or how will that work?
Oh yeah. So if they wanted to meet at a branch, I can move kind of to any of the branches. So if they wanted to meet in Maryland, that's fine. If they had a specific branch, I can always go in and meet them there.
Okay, that's awesome to know, because I didn't realize you can meet your clients at the branches. I thought you were going to say like a Starbucks, but no, we can.
No, I can meet them there. Then they're going to think, why didn't she go to the branch?
And you said something interesting in that in submitting your loan application, everything has to be done through the online portal. So people can't just scan and email documents to you directly?
No, so we do prefer that you do it through the portal or the 1-800 number. If they want to go through the 1-800 number, they can still request me as the loan officer. But those are the two secure ways. We just don't like the emails to come through with all of your secured information, personal information.
All right. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in. Donnell, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, so we've been on quarantine for about 2 months or so. So what one thing you've either more acquainted with, or what one skill have you acquired while on quarantine?
Why you do that for her?
Let's see. So I've learned through quarantine, like how to stay calm through the stress, because we're learning that, what used to be set in place for, let's say, verification of employment, we have different ways now. Everybody is kind of like, okay, you need to call this number, or you have to send this email. So we're just kind of learning to navigate through, especially the income, the verification of employment.
That's awesome. We have another question, which I think is a great question. Financial literacy is important for all of us. Does Navy Federal have informational programs for young adults to learn more about financial literacy?
So they do have financial advisors, but I know that they don't have credit specialists. So like if it was more credit related, we don't have that. But if it's on a finance side, we do have financial planners that can speak with you about your finances.
And you know, I'm so glad you said that, Brittany, because we're actually doing another webinar. And just for everyone that doesn't know yet, on the 19th from 6 p.m., where we're actually going to be talking to one of our credit experts who's done an amazing job with our clients and getting their scores up to where it needs to be so that they can purchase a home. So we'll be sending out information about that as well. That was a great little segue. So that we
get it up to that 660 so you can give it to Brittany.
Yeah, get it up to
yes.
Brittany. Anyone else have any other questions for Brittany while we have her? Because this has been a ton of great information that you shared today. I learned quite a few things about Navy Federal that I did not know. But I know me personally as a real estate agent, I tend to refer my clients directly to you, Brittany, because I don't want them going through the 1-800 call center number, because I want to ensure that, and I love the fact that you respond to them and take care of their needs right away. So,
yes.
What would you say, Mr. Taylor? What do you say about this?
Absolutely, and I mean, it's all a service thing, right? One thing, you can put a face to the name with the 1-800 number. You never know who's going to be on the other side. This way, everybody, they've seen Brittany. We know Brittany. We've talked to Brittany. So the relationship is there. Is kind of better than just being in the dock. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your service that you provide for us and everybody else as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you guys. And I love working on you guys' team. So thank you guys for sending your Navy Federal business to me.
We actually have more questions that are coming in on Facebook. Someone wants to know, so what do you offer for educators? Is there a special program for educators?
So I wish that we did. Navy Federal's niche is military right now. So we don't have anything for first responders or educators at this time.
But do you see rolling out in the future?
I don't know. The Navy Federal is always changing. So it's so crazy that I don't know. I don't want to say no because they do all types of things. Yes, you never know with them.
Okay. All right. If no one else has any questions, we certainly appreciate your time today. I think the information shared has been very informative. I hope we've been able to provide some more information to people who didn't know certain things about Navy Federal, and let them know that you're not as strict as you used to be, where you had to find a chocolate factory golden card to become
a member. Yes, now we can get you into membership.
Exactly. Do you have any final words before we wrap up today's awesome session?
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for taking time out. And I appreciate all the questions. And I hope that I hear from everyone, especially if they have specific questions. Please feel free to reach out. Call me, email me. I don't mind. I look forward to hearing from everyone.
Awesome. And just so everyone will know who is a guest, we have another question. People don't want to let you go. Oh, thanks. You're welcome. So what I'm going to do once we wrap up is I am going to send out an email with Brittany's contact information, so you can contact her directly with any questions you may have. I've also put it in the chat, but I'll be sure to get that information out to everyone who joined us today. We really appreciate your time. And Mr. Taylor, you want to say any last words before we say adios?
That's it. Like I said, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Stay safe, and we look forward to having you on next time.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, everyone, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.